In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 ways to own our mistakes. Stay tuned. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another lesson here at Sobriety University. This channel is designed to help people navigate their sober journey and get through some of the ups and downs with getting clean. So today we're going to be talking about how to own our mistakes. And I think this is a skill that lacks in many people that struggle with addiction. And it can often lead to some shame and guilt spirals, which is where we find a lot of people who are just getting clean is they have a lot of that they've been kind of suppressing and bearing down. And part of recovery is learning how to own our mistakes from our past in the present. And that what a lot of people find is it really helps reduce the shame and the guilt and the self-loathing, low self-esteem, and all those emotions that we have been trying to avoid with the drug or the alcohol or the addiction, X, Y, or Z. So today we're going to be talking about in specific how to own these mistakes. The first one being practice. Now with anything in life, any endeavor that we want to get better at, we have to fail and try and repetition after repetition. LeBron didn't get great at basketball after one shot. He had to do it over and over again. And sometimes I think we forget that the people who are the most successful in life have failed the most. It's really easy to see someone like at the top of their game and think, oh, they only got there because they just never failed. So it was just like an easy trajectory. What we fail to look at, though, is that they have failed. What we fail to look at is that they have failed hundreds and hundreds of times. And if we look at their win-to-loss ratio, it would be like 98% to 2%. Like, it's just like they failed so many times that the only thing left to do for them was to win. And that we kind of have to adopt that approach, I think, in order to be able to kind of achieve the things we want in life and kind of keep working towards different goals and stuff. Not obsessively, just being able to make traction anyway, because I know for me in the past when I would fail at one thing, I would just give up, and I would maybe give up for months. And in that time, I could have failed 200 more times and probably have gotten at least 1 or 2 successes out of that 200 times. I just never did, though, because I didn't realize failure was a part of the game, part of life. It's unavoidable. Everyone's going to do it. No matter how high up you get, however low you get, we're going to fail. And I think we can kind of relate to that with addiction and stuff. Like, I know I didn't succeed in getting clean the first time I tried. It took many efforts and many repeated attempts before I finally was able to commit for the long term. And so I invite you to practice with something small. So probably going to the most biggest thing that has happened to us in terms of mistakes is maybe not the wisest choice. So being able to look at things we do on a day-to-day basis where we mess up and feel a little bit of guilt and shame for, and being able to start practicing saying this phrase after we're out of this situation or even in this situation, I did this. And it's really empowering. It really helps us take responsibility for what we did. So for today, for example, I hung up the phone too early before saying goodbye to someone. And it was a little rude. It was a little out of fear. And now I own that. And I feel a little, as I was saying it, it hurt a little bit. Afterwards, though, I feel like almost like I can breathe again. Like, wow, like, yeah, it's... I did it. I did it. I can't do anything about it besides learn. And now I'm free to go on and continue to practice again and make more mistakes, most likely. So again, starting with something small and being able to work up. It's kind of like the funnel effect too. Like when we can start with these small things, when we do get to these bigger situations in our life, like with relationships, jobs, careers, and all that, and we do make a big mistake on that level, because we will, we're going to have this practice from owning the little things to where we can just almost, it'll be like second nature, like, oh, I messed up, cool, I'm gonna move on. I'll apologize when I need to, and we're gonna continue on with life. Like, this isn't gonna break the quantum realm in space-time continuum. Like life's gonna go on, and the sooner we can recognize that, the more freedom we're gonna have, and the more in tune we're gonna be with ourselves. So that leads on to number 2, which is to be gentle. Again, a lot of people, and I'm saying this from experience, that have addiction really struggle with being kind to themselves. And kind of when we look at the addiction as a whole, it's almost like we can try to get those feel-good things, chemicals, emotions that like maybe someone who would get that is in a healthy relationship from someone saying like, I love you. Like we try to replace that with the drugs and alcohol, because maybe I think a lot of times it has to do with childhood and we never got that. A lot of people did not get that like appropriate modeling. Maybe they were not shown much love and compassion as a child, and of course, and then they take it into their adult life and have to work through it then. So being able to start practicing now is going to be super key. Again, that's why it's so important to start with the little things, so we can say like, hey, I messed up on this small thing. I'm going to be kind to myself for it. It's not the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. And again, that's why it's important to start with the small things. I didn't hold the door for someone today. Like, I feel like I'm going to still love myself anyway and still let myself be a human. And that's like just like a huge weight off the shoulder. Like, even saying it now, I feel like a huge relief for the mistakes I made today. And I'm going to be able to, I know I'm going to be able to move forward now with a lot more grace and joy and serenity for the rest of my day. Number 3 is meditation. And this is just really important in being able to teach us to have that moment's pause before we might do something out of knee-jerk. Just do something on impulse and say like, oh wait, like I'm going to try to demonstrate it here. Like, so it's like we're about to do something, and with meditation, we've meditated for the last like, month or whatever. We get like a 2-second pause right before we're about to do the action where we say, oh, wait, I don't have to do that. I can do something different. And then we do that something different. And then we no longer have to repeat these behaviors that cause pain and suffering to ourselves and others. And that's just one of the many benefits of meditation, is we get to learn how to separate from what's going on, our behaviors, and just kind of have a more objective approach with things. And meditation also helps us separate from our thoughts, which is super key, because again, with the being gentle with ourselves, sometimes it's not that we don't want to, it's just that we have these automatic thoughts on repeat that play and make us feel unpleasant X, Y, or Z. And so we can learn to separate from those thoughts and see them just as thoughts. Like, I know that can sound a little bit like confusing at first, and I felt that same way when I started. Something that's been helpful is to kind of, for example, when you say, oh, that's a shirt, you don't like identify with it, right? You just see it as a shirt. And there's no like, maybe there's some emotional bond depending on how much we like the shirt. We don't like kind of see it as ourselves though, and we're not like, I am that shirt. It's just like, it's a shirt. And that same thing can be done with the thoughts, is we're like, oh, it's just it's a shirt. It's just a shirt. It has nothing to do with anything in life. It's just a shirt. And it doesn't have to define me or control me. And that's like a super empowering place to get through and get to. And that comes through practice with meditation. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to like, subscribe. Feel free to opt out anytime. No hard feelings. Also, feel free to download a free loving kindness 432 Hertz guided meditation. The link for that will be in the description. I made it myself, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I got to be practicing it myself, to be honest, because I struggle with that as well. And next video, I'm going to be diving deeper into the importance of meditation, and especially loving kindness, and just kind of explaining the whole 432 Hertz thing. So really looking forward to talking to you about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next one. Peace.